Hello, family. My name is Chris. I am your home gamer dad, and welcome to my next session for Final Girl. This time we are covering the last feature film that I need to cover for Series 3. I will do the vignette later, but for right now, let's just worry about this one right here. Full of mystery, suspense, horror, and bobbing and weaving an interdimensional demon. We need to gather our friends, gather the clues, and explore around one of the biggest maps out there in Final Girl. Let's go ahead and dive into the Falconwood Files. So if you didn't guess already, yes, the main inspiration for this is Stranger Things, a wonderful series that is currently on Netflix and right now going for its final season, season 5. I haven't finished volume 1 yet, but it is really, really good. I am enjoying every moment of it. Our location, Falconwood, of course, is based off of that. Hawkins, Falconwood, Hawkins, see that right there? It is also one of the biggest maps in Final Girl history so far, with the most spaces on it. I believe it ranks at like 24 spaces to move around, which is a lot. And then our Slayer right here, I've heard people compare him to like the Demogorgon or something along that way. He really is more of a Vecna for me, if you've seen Stranger Things. Also, his name is written in almost the exact same font as the Stranger Things logo. So, a few one-for-ones and everything like that. Our two final girls that you're going to be able to get in this are Janelle and Octavia. Both are fantastic final girls to use, not only here in Falconwood against Slayer, but against any killer at all. They each have a very unique ultimate ability to them that I'm going to go over a little bit later in the video. I'm going to be playing as Janelle for this one, so if we happen to see her ultimate during the course of the game, then I'll talk about it then. Otherwise, I will be talking about both of them at the end of it all once we do our final wrap-up. The only other thing that I want to talk about that I'm showing off, well, possibly showing off in this, is Janelle's weapon. I have played this twice already prior to this recording, and I am currently 1-1. The mechanics within Falconwood Files, they kind of intimidated me at first. The mission system seems very, on the surface level, seems very complicated. And then, of course, jumping back and forth between our dimension and the mirror dimension, that's what it's called here for this particular one, no copyrights. That also seemed a little, I didn't know how to make anything of it just from basic watching it. After playing it, it all makes sense. It all flows very well. And actually, Falconwood might be a location that I go back to a few times, simply because you could play it 5 different ways every time and just get something different out of it. What I really love is a lot of the little key things that it pulls from Stranger Things as inspirations for Falconwood File. Number one, in Stranger Things, D&D is a very important factor to the whole story itself, Dungeons & Dragons. So you actually get yourself a little D20 with this as well. This is used for various tarot cards, some event cards, and then I've used it a few times in order to make choices, so very, very useful there. In addition to that, the mission mechanic that you would find within Falconwood itself, which I will explain how that goes a little bit deeper, you're able to gain friends from there, and those friends are different than special victims. They're the same, but they're different. They're on a different level and everything, but you can use them in order to fight back against whatever big bad you're going up against, because any help is great. And as we know, for those that have watched Stranger Things, the power of friendship conquers all. At least so far, if I've seen in the series. We'll see how it ultimately ends. So grab your backpack, make sure you have air in those tires so we can race around town as fast as we can, solving mysteries, protecting the innocent, and making sure this monster from technically our plane, listen to my killer lore in order to see where Slayer comes from, tries to make his way back into our dimension to cause havoc and destruction. Ready? Let's shift dimensions down to the table. Janelle versus Slayer in Falconwood. There are many mysteries within the town of Falconwood, each one leading to either a friend or an even stranger thing for you to discover. There we go. Okay, so Falconwood Files, new location, new killer, having a good time with all this. As always, we will start with the location. Now, After playing through all of this, I just want to say it's really not as complicated as I thought it was going to be. There's actually, for Slayer, and I'll get into it a little bit better, but there actually is a really good reference card for him about what to do with, you know, his special mechanic and everything like that. But for right now, why don't we just start with Falconwood itself? At its base, it's really not bad. It's just the other thing that it adds to the game. On a quick zoom in right here, you're going to see that there is a lot of spaces in Falconwood. I think at this point for Final Girl, which is only have a few in Series 4 released, maybe about half so far, this has the most spaces on it than any of the other maps. I think there's like 24 spaces in this or something along that ways. And it's really not that difficult in terms of how to get around. A lot of them are connected to each other. But the two things you got to keep in mind with this are bridges, which are these three spots right here. So the school is adjacent to this exit right here. This field is located adjacent to the school and this spot. And I think that's really it. There's three bridges. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, three bridges. These blue lines right here are river crossings. As of right now, they don't mean anything. They're just kind of there. You will have events that go through that can enable you to use them. You'll have characters that might be able, or friends, I should say in this one, that will enable you to use them. But for right now, just as a map goes, bridges can be moved along and everything just as normal. It doesn't matter who you bring along. You can bring along to two victims along with you, just like all the other things. The river crossings right now cannot be used unless specified. Now then, that's it for the actual map. What this brings to the table are missions. That would be this pile of cards right here. Now, Falconwood Files comes with 5 missions, and before you start your game, you're going to pick one of these at random in order to do. Now, to make it truly random without knowing what you're doing, I'm going to roll the dice. But for this case, I just want to show you that there's a front and back to both of them. So in order to like do a true randomness, you're going to have to do some type of like fancy method. As far as setting up Falconwood goes, besides the setup card and the event card, this is the other thing that you need to do before you actually start playing. I'm not going to go over each one of these missions individually. There's quite a bit to go with all of them, but there are a lot of tokens that come with this game as well. You might have something that looks like this, where it says a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Those were the original tokens that came with the game. There has since been a reissue of tokens, which I don't know if are actually shown on any of these. There's a 1 through 6 again. There's a 1 through 6 again, and a 1 through 6 again. So ideally what it's supposed to be is A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. Those are the 6 types of tokens you're supposed to have. The 3 through 6 for A's, you can toss out if you ever get it. But if you don't have the upgrade, just keep in mind that A3 is equal to B1, A4 is B2, A5 is C1, A6 is C2. Should you not have them, you can kind of work at it from there. I am going to, you know what? Yeah, let's just do this now because it's going to be easier to go over whatever mission I'll be doing for this particular game right now and show you how all that gets set up. I have crack the code, expose the lab, survive the hunt, save your father, and missing friend. We're going to just do a quick shuffle. And we also get a 20-sided die with Falconwood Files. I believe that's mostly for, yeah, you get it with, you use it for Falconwood. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle these up, and it's going to be 1 through 4, then 5 through 8, etc., all the way out to 20. So whatever I roll is what we're going to be doing. We roll a 14. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We are going to be searching for our missing friend in this one. So all of the rest go back to the box. Now what we're going to do, I'm sorry about all the hair and everything on this, so I cleaned this thing before. We have additional content that we're going to need for this game. I need 6 mission tokens, so that's going to be, we have A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, and C2. And honestly, it doesn't really matter in this particular one because all we're going to be worried about are the numbers on the other side. In addition to that, we will need one of the friends that come with this location. There are friend cards that you're going to get, so they're going to be marked on the back with the word friend, and these are pretty much one of your main rewards that you're going to get depending on which one of the 5 missions you complete. We are going to have the best friend, so we're going to leave the best friend right there. In addition to that, you're going to also have mission items. Not all missions are going to grant items, but in this situation, we get the best friend card, which is what we have here, and the spell book. So we're going to need the spell book mission item. These are going to be rewards that we get for completing the mission. Now, here's the thing when it comes to the missions. In order to finish the feature film, you must complete the mission. If you're fighting the killer, you can do damage to the killer, but the killer cannot expose their final health, flipping the black one over until the mission is done. Let's see what else we got here. We got a reference. Oh yeah, we also need a token reference, which is going to be this. This is going to be us trying to find where our best friend is. So we have 2 things. We have the missing friend side, and then we have expose the lab. That's for a different mission altogether. Just going to move these out of the way because I'm going to put those on the board in a little bit. And we're going to put the missing friend token right here. Let's see. Place the best friend card in the spellbook item right here. Shuffle the 6 mission tokens that I have and randomly place them face down on each of the 6 namespaces that aren't like shop spaces. Have the token reference card nearby, which is right here. For this mission, you'll be using the letter combination. No, I'm sorry, you will be using the letter combination on the mission token and referencing the token. So that's what I'm saying. A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2 is the letter I was thinking of a different thing that I needed for this. So yeah, I will need the A1s and the Bs and the Cs, so I'm glad that I have that. Don't worry about what it says on that. You should have the proper ones. Flipping it over will then also show you the specific rules for this mission, which is when you end a movement space on a mission token, you can spend a time. And then reveal the token. The token will have a letter on it and a number. The token reference card will explain what each letter or number combination means. So if I flip it over and it's A1, it's east of the river. That river that I showed you here would mean that would be on the east side. There is a point that says north or south Falconwood. That would be the B1s and B2s. This shows you where it's split between north and south, so you can go from there. And then what named spot your friend happens to be on. After you've collected at least 1A, 1B, and 1C, then you can place the best friend on the side identified in the space from here. Enemies and all effects ignore the best friend while this meeple is on its side because it's basically laying down. It's kind of knocked out where they are. Your best friend is like, ow. This is also the only time you'll ever use orange meeples for Falconwood. Is only for the friends that you get from the missions. You may go to that space and discard any action card that recovers health to revive the best friend. That stands them up. And completing this mission, the best friend is now available. They're on our side. We take the spellbook mission item, which is amazing, and the horror level is reduced to 0. Now, as we go through as well, there will be ways to gain progress and lose progress. Gaining progress means we get to reveal a mission token of my choice and place it on the sheet or discard it if it's a duplicate letter. Losing progress means I have to return one of the mission tokens back to the location board in the space furthest from you, so we lose it from there. It, again, sounds like a lot, but really once you start going through with it, it's really not bad. Just going to a space, flipping over a token, you're looking for an A, a B, and a C, figuring out where your friend is, and going and reviving them. Again, as you can tell, this is why I'm only going over one mission for this playthrough. If you guys would like me to explain each of the other missions, let me know down in the comment section below. I may make a separate video just going over all of the Falconwood missions, should anybody be a little confused about them. But now we need to, after I'm mixing these up and not knowing where they are, they need to go on named spots that do not have the shop icon. So that's a school, best friend's house, Fangor Forest, town fair, community pool, and the library. So that is it in terms of setup for Falconwood, with the exception of putting down our meeples and everything like that, our victims. But we'll get back to that in a moment. First, let's talk about Slayer. Slayer really does add a whole new dimension to the game. Yes, you may have even seen the card when we were looking over at the Falconwood stuff. Basically, Slayer exists in an alternate reality version of whatever map you're on. An upside down version, if you will, but in this case, it is referred to as the mirror dimension. The only way you can ever hurt Slayer, with the exception of a finale that'll pop up, is if your final girl is in the mirror dimension. That's also the only way that Slayer can hurt meeple or victims on the board. Now, Slayer can hurt you regardless of your dimension, so always keep that in mind as well. However, what Slayer is going to do at the beginning of his turn is he's going to pull a victim from our dimension into the mirror dimension. They will then panic, and then Slayer will do his turn as normal. If he's in a spot with a gray meeple, that would be these right there, then he's able to attack them. So when you're looking at a board, you're going to see yellow meeples, which are going to be your victims in our dimension, and the gray ones are victims in the mirror dimension. Again, these are the only ones that Slayer can attack. There are 6 gray mirror dimension victims within this set. If you need to place a 7th, then, what was it? Let me just take, I just want to see where it is that dies. Okay, that's what I thought. The mirror dimension victim that is the furthest from Slayer immediately dies, and that will raise the bloodlust, and then the one that's in our dimension goes into the mirror dimension. So basically, it's the longer these guys are in the mirror dimension, the worse it's going to be for them. We actually have a token that shows where our final girl is. So right now, we will always be starting in our dimension. However, if we go back over to the side, I'm just going to leave this over here because this is where we're going to keep track of all of our dimension hopping. You may notice we have a new card added to the tableau. Not a signature action card, one for Slayer. And this happens to be Open a Rift. This means that when we play this card, no matter our success, whether it be 2, 1, or 0, our final girl is able to whoosh, zip right on over to the mirror dimension. While in the mirror dimension, we can then interact with the gray meeples there, making them follow us around, push them around, and things along that ways. And at any time we are on our action phase, we can then choose to immediately come back to our dimension, pulling anything with us that is in our same space. So if we're in a spot with a gray meeple, it pulls back into our spot and becomes a yellow meeple, getting it out of the mirror dimension. Saving it from there and also adding that gray meeple back to the pool so this way we're not losing crazy amounts of, the bloodlust and everything. So that is what Open a Rift does. There are 2 of those, each worth 2 time a piece. I'm going to be buying those like crazy because, again, in order to fight Slayer, you have to be in the same dimension as he is. His track is actually rather intimidating because he's immediately doing 2 damage right in the beginning, can go up to 5. And even though this is a giant map, he can go up to 4 spaces moved. So there might be a way that you can outrun him, but once we start fighting him, I really hope, we have to complete the mission regardless of anything. And let me tell you, that spell book is going to be extremely helpful. So let's go ahead and put down his killer action card. Now, if you may notice, there is a new symbol on his killer action. I'll talk about that as I put down his dark power. That little house thing right there indicates that he is going to pull the closest victim in our dimension into the mirror dimension. So that's when it gets removed from the field and then goes as a gray meeple. He then targets anything in his space and attacks. Does not move. No boot, no move. Number 1 rule of Final Girl, no boot, no move. So he just pulls and then strikes wherever he is. He has 11 health, so we have our 5 right here. I got these from, Killer from Tomorrow, because I really like them, because they just make it look neater, and then the rest of it from here. Now, let's put down the final health tokens. Just because I'm going to go ahead and start setting up the main board after this, so we'll have a 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is going to be his. Starting from that next spot, we have a 3, 1, 2, 3 for our final girl. Let's remove these. Don't know what those are. And before doing the setup to get into the game, let's talk about our final girl, Janelle. Janelle needs 4 victims saved in order to give her ultimate. You get a lowering of the terror gauge, which starts at 4, by the way. I forgot to mention that, but it does. She can move a space, take a guard card, and heal 1 health, which is going to be that 1 health is probably going to be helpful. I will have her weapon card mixed in, just because I have beaten this before using her. Her special ability and, Octavia's special ability are very similar. I like hers better. I like also her aesthetic just better than it. I think she's supposed to be like 11 or something like that. What she's supposed to represent from Stranger Things. But I just like her card so much better, and she'll be really helpful in any killer that you fight. So let's see where everybody starts on the board. Actually, before we do that, let's just go left to right up here as I normally do, starting with the items. Once again, her weapon is going to be in the shuffle thing. I'm just going to put on here right now, yes or no on the screen. If we actually see the weapon, using it is a completely different thing because it's helpful, but it may or may not be used. So there you go. That's your spoiler warning for this to know if her weapon is going to be shown. I'm not going to specifically put it in the pile. It's just shuffled in with all of the items. So it may show up, it may not. Now, pulled from the mirror dimension into our dimension are 3 piles of items. Ta-da! 3 items apiece on each item: the government lab, police station, and the shopping mall. Government lab, our top item is a shotgun. That's always fun. For more than just shooting birds, but avoid using it in close range. You want to do it. Range of 1, 2 uses out of it. Double-handed. The shotgun cannot modify action cards, but must be used without one. Spend 1 time to make a horror roll. If I roll a star, I deal 3 damage to 1 enemy within range. Ooh, that's nice. We always like any type of weaponry. Speaking of weaponry, our one right next to it is a wooden bat, another 2-handed weapon, just adding a little bit more damage to our main thing. And finally, another piece of weaponry. My God, a flamethrower. Wow, that's crazy. 0 to 1, 2 uses. This must be kept in your hands, and you may not have any items in your backpack because it is the backpack. Maybe use once per action phase to deal damage equal to half the killer's current health, rounded down, or to kill all minions in your space. Oh yeah, I remember that from what was that? Panic at Station, the ice station or whatever. But honestly, out of these 3, the wooden bat and the shotgun, they're definitely the best. All right, so let's just do all of our card setup that I will put together. So we have our terror deck right here. There is another terror card from Falconwood that does not get shuffled into here, and that is called Survive the Hunt. Survive the Hunt is a special one that will only go into the deck at a specific point if you're doing that particular mission. So because I am not worried about that. Like the spell book, you're not going to use unless you're doing Missing Friend, and then there's another item, Telekinesis, that again you will not use unless you're doing that particular mission, as the same with all of the friends. But once again, if you guys wish for me to go over those individually, let me know, and yeah, sure, I could probably make a video about that. That sounds like fun, considering we're coming to the end of Series 3 anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 terror card counter. Now we'll take our setup, shuffle that up right away, take 1, and ooh, Halloween. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to drop down all of our meeples where they're supposed to go. Our victims are going to be 2 in the shopping mall, 2 down there, 2 in this open space right there. We got 2 up here at our best friend's house. We got 2 right next to them. Not really sure how this is classified as Halloween, but everybody's sticking in pairs, I guess. Yep, and we got 2 in the Fangor Forest. Just to point out, because they are hard to see, your exits are here, here, and here. So that's where we got to bring all of our victims to. Slayer actually starts right here, and our final girl starts right there. In addition to that, there are 2 mirror dimension victims that start on the board as well. The first one will always start in your location. So no matter what it is, it will always start in your location. The second one will always start in the location closest to Slayer. So depending on whatever map you're using against Slayer, that is where the, the first 2 are going to start. You can then pull 4 more in before you start taking penalties of the Bloodlust. So keep that in mind as well. That's the only other additional, besides putting the Open the Rift onto the tableau, that's the only additional thing that you have to know for setup for Slayer. And with that, let's start playing. Let's grab our first 6 cards. get ourselves ready. I got to lower that focus. I got to lower that gauge immediately. And I want to open a rift as soon as I can, because if I can grab the 2 mirror victims and get them out of here as fast as I can, that'll be so helpful. So let's go and play some cards. Now, I always say I like to start with focusing, but I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to walk. We're going to do a walk card, and I'm going to, man, I really got to start popping these because I want to get the best friend first. But Slayer's so close to these victims. Oh, wow, I'm not even connected to these two. That's going to be a little bit harder than I thought. Ugh, okay, maybe I will just do what I want to do. All right, yeah, we're going to walk, and we're going to walk up here and see what that is first. So, got our 2 dice right here. Let's give that a roll. All right, so 1 space is fine. That's all I need to move. Time down to 6, so we're going to move right here. I'm then going to spend another time, which is going to bring us down to 4, to flip this over and see what we got. We have A2, so it's going to go into the A spot for wherever our best friend is, if I can actually get it up off the board. All right, so the A's have now been used. If I find A1, it's just removed from the board completely. So we know that they are west of the river, which is going to be like on this side, or exactly where we are right now. So now we have to figure out if it's north or south, and first in alphabetical order or last in alphabetical order, which is the name spots. And as weird as it is, I think I'm going to end my turn right here. I will, however, I'm going to toss weak attack and short rest right now because I don't need either of them in order just to gain me back the 2 time that I lost. So now I'm going to go into the planning phase with 6 time, because what I'm going to get is a sprint card to run as fast as I can. I do have another walk in my hand, which is fine. I'm going to grab and open the rift for another 2. And then my last 2, I'm going to take both close calls. I like having these in my hand because they're 1 apiece, they're cheap, and they're good to kind of throw out in order to, to convert dice if I need to. So for right now, that's all I have there. Just going to be walk, weak attack, and short rest. I'll come back to my hand next round. Now we head into the killer phase, where things get really strange. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to resolve that house symbol from the Slayer. Now, again, there is a great card that gives you an idea of the breakdown of it. You're going to determine the closest victor that are it's in our dimension from Slayer, and that's actually going to be one of these 2 up here. So you're only going to pick 1, but that's it. The normal victim is then going to be turned into a gray victim, and they are going to panic from the spot they are in. Keep in mind, though, that if you have a special victim that changes, just to say we had our best friend right now, they would be in our dimension as well, and they could get pulled to the mirror dimension at any point by Slayer. So you would just move that down, because there's no gray meeple that represents special victims. So that's why they have 1 of each color as well that come with Slayer. So you would put them on there, and they can go back and forth between the mirror dimensions. But for right now, we just have the yellow meeples. So we have this right here. It gets pulled into the mirror dimension. And that's what it looks like. I honestly have no idea what you guys are seeing right now. I'll worry about it in post. But we are now in the mirror dimension because this poor soul got dropped into there. Let's go ahead and do a panic roll, because they panic immediately upon going. Oh, they run up this way because the 3 is right there. I was reading the wrong one, but that's the right way. Anyway, so they have panicked out. Now, Slayer would go, and he would just attack wherever he is. If there are no victims, yellow victims on the board, then the bloodlust gauge would go up. If there are no mirror dimension, I believe, yeah, if there are no victims in the mirror dimension, then he would actually resolve that twice, right? Oh, wait, no, wait. Never mind. No, I'm sorry, I was reading the bottom of them. It's when Slayer targets a victim and there are no victims in the mirror dimension, you resolve the flipping instead and ignore the rest of the killer action. So he wouldn't do anything. So you're only ever pulling 1 per turn unless it shows otherwise on the tarot cards. With that said, our first tarot card happens to be Never-Ending Attacks. If there are no victims on the board, discard. Otherwise, he targets victims, moves towards them, and kills. So the closest victim within Slayer's realm here in the mirror dimension is down here. So he's going to move down there and strike at it with all of his fury. Our victim from the mirror dimension will be placed on our board as a yellow meeple, and the gray will go back into the supply. So now that's 3 that we can put down. But it is still dead, and our terror gauge does, or I'm sorry, bloodlust gauge does go up by 1. Doesn't change any of his stats, but does move it up. And now again, he targets the closest mirror dimension, victim, or the final girl. Because remember, Slayer can attack the final girl no matter what dimension she's in. And he's going to go 1, 2 right here, trying to get up towards this poor soul right there. Now, that is the end of his turn. First thing we're going to do is we're going to open a rift. Yeah, a rift in time and space in order to get ourselves to the mirror dimension. Because my goal then is to use that and then sprint in order to get both of these guys up here, come back into our world, and get them back to, get them to safety and everything. Once they're gone, then I can start running around trying to collect more of these symbols and everything. So really, anything gets you into the mirror dimension is just, are you going to take damage or not? We're going to lose 1 time, and I'd rather do that. That's fine. Now we are in the mirror dimension. Another thing with the mirror dimension, if you're in the mirror dimension during the upkeep phase, you immediately lose a health. So you can stay in there without needing to open a rift again. However, it will hurt you. I can come back to our dimension at any time and pull anything with me. So that's why I need to start collecting some people from this unfortunate situation. In which case, a sprint is the best thing to do, because I would move 1, 2, 3. If I can get a 2-star, hopefully I get 1 star and a convert. Because then if I do, I'll be able to do what I want to do and save some victims. That'll also clear everyone out of the mirror dimension, which would be very nice. Buy me some turns and everything while I run around town. All right, so we're going to move 2, and I wish that was a convert, but it is not. Okay, so we can move 1, and then we're going to take them up here for 2. We did lose a time, so we are at 4. Let's just go ahead and do our walk. Got our second walk card right there, and move to the exit. Once again, no matter what we do, we'll be able to do it. It's just, am I going to hurt myself in this weird mirror world? No, I do not hurt myself. I lose a little bit of time because I don't know where I'm going, but that's fine. All right, so we move on in, and now I have 2 mirror victims in here. What I'm now going to do is use my dimensional shifting abilities and bring all of us back into our dimension. This means both of these victims are now yellow and...
Go! Yeah, that's right! You better run! She's our friend and she's crazy!
Okay, so I think then what I'm going to do is we'll just do the top 2. We will lower the terror gauge by 1, bringing it to 3, and then I'm going to move 1 space. And I'm going to move into the shopping mall, actually, because I don't want the flamethrower, but I would like to search that pile. Yep, so we're going to go ahead, zip right into there, and then that's going to end our turn with 3 time, to which I'm going to immediately take a distract for 3 and get that horror gauge lowering down. Because again, as I always say, the more dice you roll in this game, the better it is your chances of just doing anything. All of these come back to my hand, and then a sprint, and an open rift, and a walk here. Yes, I did not get a search like I said I wanted to, but maybe I'll figure out something else to do with that. I mean, the police station does have nicer items regardless of anything. But Slayer now goes, and the closest victims to him are right up here. There are no mirror victims here, so he's not going to do anything for the rest of his turn. He's just going to take this 1 victim and pull them on in. Now remember, as soon as 1 comes into the mirror dimension, they are freaking out. And I have a 2. Where is there a 2? Is there a 2 anywhere? Nope, he stays right where he is. 3, 4 goes down, 5, 6 goes up. So he stays right there, because remember, these are not connected, and even if they were, there was no number for him to panic to anyway. So I will make 1 correction right now before we move into the terror card phase. Whenever a victim is killed within the mirror dimension, at the panic phase, all victims would then panic. So he was right here in this spot. I had to come down to get him and then move on up. Just out of curiosity, I'm curious if he would have went. He probably would have. I didn't do it. It doesn't matter. We're just going to leave it as is. We'll just say he was too scared to go anywhere. 6. Oh, man, that would have been even better. He would have came right to me. Oh, well, there you go anyway. See, that was a perfect roll. That would have been what I would have wanted, because he would have ran up where I was, and I could have just kind of went from there. But nope. This is where I am. I've made a mistake. That's kind of my correction. Let's flip our tarot card. Regular victims will not panic pretty much ever whenever you're going against the Slayer. Only victims that are in the mirror dimension, the gray ones, will panic. Keep that in mind as we do stuff. All right, it's after me. Slayer is going to target the final girl, moving 2 spaces towards her, attacking if possible. And of course, the terror goes up by 1, so that is now at 4. And he's going to go 1, 2, up to the school, because that's just going to put him closest up over there. So he's stalking her, getting close to her, but little does he know what our final girl is capable of. She is capable of putting up a bunch of different distractions for this particular round in the hopes to be able to roll more dice and to run away from things faster. All right, here we go. Come on, give me a good distraction. Give me a good distraction. Okay, that's great. That's great. I'm gonna immediately flip that to there, because I'm gonna dump my close calls to give me the 2-star result. Because by doing that, this drops down to 2, which is fantastic, and this goes up to 8. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just play focus right now in order to hopefully get me down to where I need to be. Come on. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Come on, give me a star. Stop spinning. Oh, man. Okay. Tried and true. Short rest and weak attack. Gone for a conversion. So it goes down to 7 and over to 1. Now I am rolling 3 dice. What I am going to do immediately is walk. That'll hopefully get a 2 result, which is fine, or I just saved 2 victims. Either way is fine by me. Yes! Wow! A triple star. That is fantastic. All right, first things first. You 2 come with me. We're going to go on over here. And guess what, guys?
And another one bites the dust.
And just like that, Janelle's power is revealed. Oh, no. Oh, shoot. Oh, I just realized, speaking of revealed, we never revealed an event card at the beginning of the game. Oops. Oh, okay. Let's just, before we do that, there's a lot of cards in here that doesn't matter when they're revealed, so we'll be okay. So we're just going to reveal the top one. Here we go. Well, that's what we're supposed to do, but you know what I see. Helping hand. You don't have to do this alone. Gain progress. Oh, gain progress on the mission. Oh, okay, great. Okay, this would help us anyway. Fantastic. Oh, beautiful. So each one of these appear once. The gain progress happens in your event. The lose progress happens in your tarot card. So there's a very good chance I may pull that. Gaining progress and losing progress is different for each mission. In this case, as I mentioned before, I get to reveal the mission token of my choice and either place it on the sheet or discard it if it's a duplicate. So I know my best friend is to the west of the river over here. I just don't know if it's north or south. But that also means that a lot of these tokens over here I'm probably never going to get to. So I'm going to choose the town fair just because it's the furthest away from me. And then maybe start heading down this way to the police station in order to get the item from there and swing Slayer around to get rid of. So I'm going to choose this one. 1, 2, 3, flip. All right, C. C1, that's great. All right, so now I just need to find a B item in order to save my friend, and I kind of hope that one of these 2 is a B. So let's put this on the board. All right, C1, so that is first in alphabetical order. So now we have to figure out what part of the map they're on, whether it's be the north or the south. So it's on the west side, and either the north or the south. And usually you have 2 locations that you have to choose from. This will tell you what one is actually the case. So that's extremely helpful. Speaking of extremely helpful, from one segue to another, let's go back over to Janelle. First things first, we are going to go ahead and gain a guard card into our hand. So that's not going to be much right now, but unless Slayer does come at us, that would be, very helpful. One more thing, there's always going to be something with Slayer, and I apologize for putting these at different points, but I wanted to kind of bring it out a little bit more naturally and just seems the right time. When Slayer attacks Janelle, or your final girl, whoever you are, you can use the blue reaction cards in order to reduce the damage. Also, because of the way that the Slayer works, Slayer can attack your final girl no matter the dimension she's in. So, retaliate will actually hit him if he attacks her, because he's reaching through the dimensions to fight, and your final girl is fighting back right there. He then pulls himself back into the mirror dimension. So that's the thematic way to put it. Guard will be able to block, which is great. Retaliate will hit back, but I don't have that right now. We do have another victim right there in order to heal, but I haven't taken any damage. Now what we're going to do is we're going to remove all of those, flip it on over, and you may notice that we have a fun tracker on the bottom. Place a tracking marker on the 0 point, which I'm going to do right now. After resolving a no star result on a horror card or saving a victim, move the marker 1 space to the right. When resolving an action that deals damage, you may increase the damage dealt by the number on the space with the marker, then return to 0. This is always, to me, a one-hit, like, extreme thing. I will build this up as fast as I can, and then do a massive attack that will be +5 in addition to whatever it is I do to him otherwise. So that's crazy powerful. Takes a while to build up, but man, when you get it, it is amazing. And I am still going on here, but what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to use my last movement, because remember I had 2, and I am going to move down to this spot right here with this victim. These spaces are not adjacent because this river spot is not active. So, I mean, honestly, when the Slayer goes, he's going to pull one of these guys in, and he may go over that way to start killing other things, unless he pulls something that targets me. I'm not sure, but they are definitely closer than I am at this point. Ending the action phase, let's do some planning. So I am going to grab a walk. I do have 6 time that I can spend. We are going to sprint, search. Then it's a matter, do I sprint again or do I search again? Probably sprinting again, because if I can get to those markers as fast as possible and get people, I can even get people out of the area, save more victims. Because if I save victims as well, then I can build up Janelle's special ability. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to sprint. There we go. So that's 6. Then all of our zeros go back. We get a short rest right there with all the other ones, the close calls, and the distraction that helped out greatly. All right, telling you right now, one of these guys, because they're 1 space away, into the mirror dimension. Ooh, spooky, I guess, because I don't know right now, but you do, and now I do. Let's roll for a panic. Don't be a 3, right? Is that what that is? Oh, God, don't be a 3. Don't be a 3. Oh, no. Whoops. Okay, well, now we're not going to make that mistake again. This guy's going to move into there, and Slayer is going to take his turn and stay where he is and just do what his namesake says. All right, well, that goes here then onto the dead pile. This goes up, and we are now rolling 2 dice. I think I'll focus right away in the beginning of my next turn just so I can pull that back down again. Once we hit panic phase, that's when the other mirror victim is going to panic. All right. Here we go. Not that Slayer would have moved anyway. Oh, no. Oh, great. Oh, no. People are disappearing. Uh-oh. Oh, look at how much this is going to move. Well, we're already in the mirror dimension as is, but you would definitely go into it. You immediately panic. Please don't follow your friend. Thank you. You're actually going to run that way. Slayer does have a movement of 2, so he's going to be in the same spot here with these 2, which is really bad. Because that's he's going to stay in that same spot and kill them. But this guy is very, very dead. 3 deaths mean this goes up, and now his movement has increased to 3. And this actually goes up to 3 as well. So much for rolling 3 dice. Okay, now this guy panics because we are in the panic phase, and all mirror victims panic during the panic phase should somebody have been killed. That is a 6, so you go up here to this spot. No, I'm sorry. That's where that is. Perfect. Fun. Great. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sprint. I thought about focusing, but honestly, I'd rather just kind of see if I can move the 2 to go up, get rid of this one guy to build up her strength, and then just start working her way to the police station. Building up that strength is like the big thing that she can do, so come on. Oh, man. Do I want to dump? Yeah, I'm going to get rid of my guard and my focus. I'm going to just toss these 2. I know I could resolve the, I could resolve this, but my turn immediately ends, and I don't really want to do that right now. So we're going to lose a time, so we're at 5, and we go up to free this guy out of here, which is great.
Afraid of losing cool points to a 10-year-old child?
And that will build this up to +1. We do have 1 additional move, which we will then move back down Following that, I'm immediately with a walk to get us to the police station. Not like anyone will believe us because we are just kids. All right, ready and roll it on down. Oh, okay. Well, sure. Walk is usually never the worst one right now in terms of getting the terrible results too. Janelle will lose a health. It will cost 2 time. We're at 3. However, she does move down to the police station. And this will bloop right up to +2. So that's 2 additional damage she will do on her next basic attack. And I'm actually going to end her turn right now. I know I have 3 left. I have a search and a sprint in my hand, but I'm going to wait until next turn to do that because I'm going to use the 3 in order to get a distraction in order to hopefully lower my terror gauge again as far down as I can go. I have short rest, weak attack, focus, and a walk there, which are very nice. Yes, it would have been great to utilize the guard, but for right now, we are far enough away from him. And he's not going to do anything because he's going to kill somebody in his face. Why? Because the closest victim to him that's going to go to the mirror dimension is right here at the best friend's house. Okay, there is a chance that this guy may get out of there. What do I need? 3 through 6. A 1 and a 2, and he's dead. He's a 6. Okay, so he rolled the 6. That means you panic this way. Slayer will not attack this victim in here, so we don't lose a victim yet. That is until we roll over this terror card, which is a minor dark power. Oh, geez. Zealous attacks. Increase Slayer attack value by 1. So at this point, he's just going to be doing 3. Honestly, out of all of his minor dark powers, that's not that bad. Yes, it gives him +2 health, which you guys will be able to see up there, plus the effect. But I think I can deal with that once I start searching the police station. And that's going to happen right now after I distract him a bit. Now, the other victim didn't need to panic because no one died. So they're all in that spot, or in their spots. I need to be able to roll better dice going forward. See if I get lucky again by just being able to dump some cards in order to not only gain 2, but 2 and 2. Come on. Nope, I see 2 dump. All right, that's fine. Short rest and weak attack. My favorite things to dump to make things happen. All right, so now I have 2 stars because of that, which means we are down to 1 here and up to 8 instead of, well, we would have been at 7 because of distract, which is fine. However, what I am going to do with 3 dice, search the police station. Of course, I wouldn't mind the bat, but I wouldn't mind having some choices in case there's a better item in order to fight this thing. As it rolls around like crazy, you know what? The bat's fine. Found ourselves 1 wooden bat, apparently in an evidence locker somewhere from the crazy kids around here, spending a time to do that searching. I don't know what else is in the police station, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and do our sprinting. Yes, let's sprint. 2 spaces is what I'm looking to move. So watch me get a full 3 here, right? Nope, I got the star. That's good. Okay, I really just wanted to move 2 spaces. Okay, we're down to 6 time. I'm moving myself over here. I'm going to be spending another time, so we're down to 5 to flip this over. That's a 1. That is out of the game, so that is not what we have. But now we are 2 out of 3 in determining which one of the other ones here will be where we got to go. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rescue these 2 and then make my way over to this side because I need to be over here anyway in order to figure out where my best friend is. So let's walk, hopefully get 2 spaces, free these guys, and we'll be at our maximum power. All right, here we go. Let's see what we can do about saving victims and get as many of them out of here as possible. Ow, whoa, okay, well, I don't have enough in order to convert anyway. Oh well, we'll just move down here, and that's going to be the end of our final girl turn. That brings us to 4. So now I can spend 4, which will take these. 1, 2 for the sprint because we need to move as fast as possible. And I'll take both close claws again. I'm not going to do open a rift yet because it's going to take me a turn or 2 to get over to where I need to go on the other side of the map. All right, so there's another sprint. There's my search, distract, and the rest of these. Now another victim goes to the mirror dimension. That would be this poor unfortunate soul right in the same spot as Slayer. Now we shall see if they run away or not. Do you know what I don't think I did? Never mind. Dark power. That's right. I was looking at my cards. I'm like, did I forget to draw a terror card? Nope, it was oh no. Oh no, you stayed too scared to even move. Uh-oh, well. Oh, got pulled in and immediately slayerified. The good thing is this one doesn't really do anything. He doesn't gain any additional powers or whatever, and he's already at full health. So that's a thing. Now we draw a terror card. These are always so terrifying as always. All right, let's see. If there are no victims on the board, blah, this place is dark and cold. If there are special victims in our dimension, then resolve on the furthest special victim. There are no special victims at all. He is going to focus on somebody and kill them, which is going to be bad because that's going to activate the dark power. Not sure which way he would go, so we're going to let fate decide. We're going to do 3, 4, 5, 6. Sure, why not? And if I roll a 1 or a 2, 1 will go down, 2 will go to the right. I rolled a 4, which means he goes down, because he would move up to 2, but that's all he needs. And now this guy ends up biting the dust within the mirror dimension, which also powers up our Slayer to the point where the dark power is revealed. Dun, dun, dun! Mind control. During upkeep phase, all victims in the mirror dimension move 1 space towards Slayer. Ew! Oh no, that's so terrible, because now if there are any in there, they're just going to keep going at him. We're now in the panic phase, and because somebody did die, he is going to run, so I would prefer it to either be a 1 to 3. A 1 to 3 would be great. A 1. Okay, so 1 is fine because he just stays right there. But now it's the upkeep, so he's going to move 1 space towards Slayer. So he's not in the same spot at least, but oh boy, that could be bad. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and sprint and hopefully get my maximum amount of movement on the turn. Ideally, I'd like to just drop these guys off and start making my way over to this side. I'm not going to see what this is because if it's a B, then the best friend's going to get put on the board somewhere, which is just going to make things a lot more difficult in order to go in the future. So I'd rather just be on this side already and flip over the token and then go from there. I'm going to need a turn in order to get to the west part of the board anyway. Gaining progress did kind of help. I guess I should have grabbed it the other way, but that's okay. And I also believe that if you lose progress while this has already been discovered, then it's not like you lose where the best friend is. Maybe you do. I don't know. Maybe you got bad information or something like that. There's my double star. Fantastic. Awesome. 3 spaces. All right, so we go 1, bringing these 2 with us, saving them from the freaky wonders that are in Falconwood.
Yeah, watch it, nerd.
And then each victim, blip, blip, goes up 1, so now we are doing a maximum of 5. So I am ready to go in terms of her power attack, whatever that may be, whenever we fight Slayer. All right, so that was 1, 2, and 3. We are over there. We're now going to continue making our way across with a walk. Which will end us in the police station or right here, depending on what we get. If we end in the police station, I may just buy another search card just to gain a few more items. Oh, no. Nope, no need. We'll just take that and we'll move our 4. I can't use these to cross the river because that's not a thing, but we'll go 1, 2 right there. And then depending on where Slayer moves and whatever, I'll either go down. It's even still, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Ah, man, I wish that these river crossings were a thing, but that's only an event card that'll make that happen. All right, with 2 focus and 4 time, we are going to end it right there and just see what else we can get. So I'll grab these, and yeah, 4 time, I'm going to grab and open the rift just in case to try to get anyone out of there, and a sprint. Plus, I need to open the rift anyway in order to do any damage to Slayer to be in his dimension. Put that sprint there and that walk there. Just movement on my next turn is what I have. Well, we got 1 more here that's going to go into the mirror dimension. If there was no victims on the board and he would try to pull, then the bloodlust gauge would go up. All right, they're all in the mirror dimension now, and he doesn't move, so, oh man, but they are going to try to attract to him, which is going to be terrible. All right, tarot card. Hyperdimensional travel. Oh, okay, so he's going to move towards 1 and attack, then place Slayer in the furthest victim in the mirror. He's going to kill everybody. He's just going to kill everybody. Oh, no. Well, He's going to move down. I'm going to move down 1 because we're going to do that. He's going to strike him and kill him. So that'll come off the board. And then he's going to power himself up over there, strike at him, and completely wipe out everybody in the mirror dimension. Wow, this guy is on a rampage. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, that's bad. We are at 2, so I'm only, terror gauge of 2, so I'm only rolling 2 dice, but man, I gotta find my best friend now. Trust me, doing that will make a difference. Getting that spellbook card will be amazing. Walk, because no, I can't walk. I need something better. Let's first focus so I can at least try to get back 3 dice. Come on, just give me a star. I need 1 star. Okay, that's fine. I could dump 2 in order to... All right, so I'm going to dump my other focus and my close call, so that will give me 2 stars on that, which means I'm up to 8 and then back down to 1. So that's great. I want to try to get as much as I can to spend on my next turn. Now I need to sprint in order to go 1, 2, 3 to the forest here and hope that this is a B. I'm actually hoping that this is B2. I really am. All right, so I get to roll 3. I do have enough in order to convert at least 1, so here's hoping. Don't need it. Fantastic. That's great. Oh gosh, 1, 2, 3 into the forest. I'm at 7. We're going to use the time to go down to 6 to flip this over, and it's C2. I already have a C. Oh no. Oh no, I have to go up there in order to get that 1, in order to see what it is. Okay, well, with that case, then, let's go ahead and walk and try to make our way up there. I may be buying a Retaliate. Actually, I almost guaranteed to be buying a Retaliate because at this point, he's doing a 5 attack. Oh, gee. All right, dumping close call and walk because I need to get up there. We're down to 5. 1, 2. I hate being in the same space as this guy, but let's go ahead and spend another time for 4. To find that it is, oh great, B2. So let's go ahead and put that on our thing. Okay, so we know that it is B2. So A2 is west of the river, which is where we are. B2 is South Falconwood, which is, we got to go down in order to get there. And C1 is first in alphabetical order. So the 2 that it narrows down to on the west-south side are the Government Lab and the Fangora Forest. And then, of course, because it is first in alphabetical order, it means that it's the Fangora Forest, which is where our best friend is. We probably walked by them numerous times while walking through there in order to help them. Now, the problem is that in order for us to revive them, we need to get down there with a short rest or some type of healing card and discard that in order to get them on our team and then officially do what we have to do for everything else. The problem now is that there's really nothing else that we can do. I am going to end my turn right now, so we will grab a Retaliate for the 4 that I have left, and we will take a walk. Got a sprint, got 1, 2 close calls, and this short rest is like the most important thing to me right now, but I won't be able to get that into my hand until 2 turns from now. So Slayer is currently in my spot. There's the only victim that's in the on the board right now is our best friend, but they are currently not considered targetable because they are laying down on the ground. So ideally, there's no targets in Falconwood for him to pull into the mirror dimension. So the gauge goes up by 1. Would heal him, but that doesn't matter. He's now going to target his space, and he's going to attack me for 5 because of that zealous attack. I need to get a double star at the very least. Oh boy. Well, at least whatever I have the wooden bat. The wooden bat, I've asked this before, and I'm going to say it again, and I'm pretty sure the answer is no, but I believe Retaliate and the wooden bat, like I couldn't use the wooden bat with Retaliate, right? Or maybe I can, because there's certain ones that say you can only use cards for like weak attack or furious strike or whatever. It's doing damage. I should be able to use the wooden bat. I'm going to say I can. I'm going to say I can just for the sake, because why wouldn't it? Comes and freaks me out, I'm going to swing the bat at its face. Be nice to do a little bit extra damage, but so long as I get something, I, 1, will not die, and 2, will be able to knock out his minor dark power. Bam! Bam! You're seeing stars, my friend. Huzzah! So it says here, when resolving an action card that deals damage, you may increase the damage by the number down. Retaliate's an action card. It does damage. I'm saying that's the thing. We're going to do this right now. It is the scariest counterattack ever. 5 damage, plus 2 from Retaliate, plus 1 from the wooden bat is a total of 8. Oh, smack him in the face. Now remember, we can't activate his final token until we finish the mission, but we know where our best friend is and we can go down there and rescue them. So 1, 2 comes off, and this is gone now, thank goodness. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then technically 8 would be one of those, so we'll put 4 back. Wow, that gave him something to think about for sure. Only 5 health left. Fantastic. Okay, so we move on to the next thing. Another minor dark power. Interdimensional interference. When you lose health from opening a rift or from being in the mirror dimension, lose an additional 1. So if I lost health from opening a rift, that only happens if you fail it. But that just means it does 2 damage to me instead of 1. That's terrible. All right, so let's pop that up here. We go 1, 2, and yeah, that's pretty much going to be that. Okay, we're now back on our turn. We know where our friend is right now. All I have is a walk. So at the very least, I can get to the space, but hopefully that'll buy us enough time to just get away from Slayer. Oh God, it'd be terrible if he chases after me. And I will dump the 2 cards I have in my hand in order to make sure we get to our friend. I will not need to dump the 2 cards that I have in my hand in order to get to our friend. Fantastic. Run, 1. Get away from me, you. 1, 2. Okay. Here we are in the Fangor Forest, but I can't do anything yet until my next turn because I don't have a short rest in order to discard. So, 5 to spend. Oh, here we go. All right, so we got all of these. I need to defend myself. So 1, 2. I have opened the rift, and I only have 3 left. I'm going to do 3, 4, and 5, just in case we need to have any additional movement. So sprint should be able to get us out of where we got to go to. All right, no one to pull in because we haven't revived anybody yet, so we'll just move that on up 1, and then Slayer isn't going to do anything because there are no other victims in the our world for him to pull through or target. Because remember, no boot, no move. Oh, okay. I saw them leaving Makeout Closet. Oh, great. 2 more victims at the school. Okay. That's right. Oh, that's close to where Slayer is. And a new event. Okay, so we got 2 right here. And our event happens to be bridge repair. Place the under construction token on a bridge of your choice. That bridge can no longer be used for the rest of the game, and the space that was connecting it is no longer connected. Boom, right there, right by the school. School collapsed and a bunch of people came in. Fantastic. Oh, that's great. Oh, that means nothing else happens. Oh, so now we can just go right to our turn. I forgot to get rid of these. These go back, so we'll have a walk and retaliate that we can purchase on the next turn. However, the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and short rest, discarding short rest to bring back our best friend, which I'm now going to lay down anyway because we've revived them. You're supposed to leave the lay down as if they're like, knocked out, but we've revived them with short rest, which means we have finished our mission finding our missing friend. Yes, all right, the best friend has joined us. We'll put them right there in our dimension as well. While the best friend is in your space, horror level cannot go up for any reason, except if they die, and it goes up by 4. When you go to the space, discard an action card that heals. We revive the best friend, and the mission is complete. The best friend is now available for you to use. They will be coming with us for the rest of the game. You can free them, by the way, like any other special victim. So if you don't want them with you, you can go to a space in order for them to like get off the map. But the good thing about the friends within here, the mission cards, is Slayer will target regular victims, then special victims, then friend victims, then final girl. So It's those two that actually popped up gave off the smell that he liked. The best friend is with you, blah, 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 blah. We get to take these spell books, so this is going to come with us. And the best part also, reduce horror level to 0. So this is immediately down here, so that'll never go up again unless our best friend is gone. And we're going to put the wooden bat into our backpack, and we're going to take the spell book. Now, what does this do? Holy crud. I didn't think that it would actually work. Discard during the action phase and choose an adjacent space. Roll the d20. Everyone in that space takes damage based on the result. If I roll that 20, I kill him. I kill him, which is amazing. And you know what? Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's go ahead and do a walk right now to move up 1 space to an adjacent spot, and then see what we can do about doing some quick damage to this guy. Well, let's do that after we open a rift, because we actually can't do that unless we're in the same dimension as him. So we're going to open a rift first, and then we're going to walk. All right, first things first. Opening a rift into the mirror world. We got a single star, so we lose a time. So we're at 4. Okay, but now both us and our best friend are in the mirror world together, because it's just while they're in your space, they cannot go up for any reason. So I kind of want them with me, which is very weird to say, but we'll be all right. Now we're going to roll, and we're going to move a single space. So we are going to be at 3 as well. So let's move. Well, first, we're just going to right over to the mirror dimension. All right, best friend, here we are in the mirror dimension. Let's go take them out. Moving up 1, and then it doesn't require any time. So let's go ahead and use an action in order to activate the spell book. Come on, 11 or higher. Come on, 11 or higher. Janelle is supposed to be 11, which is great. So 11 or higher would be fantastic. Oh, it's an 18. Oh, it's not a crit hit, but that's fine. I'll take the 4 hits. Some magic blast go right at the Slayer, and he loses 4 health. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 left to go. Oh, that is fantastic. So this usually just happens in the upkeep phase anyway, but I am going to put the wooden bat back here. I'm not going to do any more things for my turn. We're going to wait until my next turn in order to do something. But I'm also going to go 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we'll do 3. So I go back up from 3. I go from 3 up to 6 times. Because I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then take another guard, and the walk will come with me as well. I wish I had a little bit more charge for my special ability, but that's okay. Unfortunately, I am not going to be out of the mirror dimension, so I got to remember also, during the upkeep, our final girl loses another health. Well, actually, first thing that happens is one of these new guys from the school, unfortunately, is pulled right into the mirror dimension. Let's roll it on up for a 5, and you panic down. No idea what's going on or where things are happening. Slayer is also just currently in the same spot, so they're not going anywhere. Famous last words as always when stuff like this happens. Okay. Well, were you two in the change room the whole time? Ooh. I'll place 2 new victims in the community pool and draw an event. Okay. Actually, I can get rid of this. Is B1, isn't it? Yeah, so we've already done that. So let's go ahead and put you in there. So that's fine. And another event card. So let's see what this is. Freaks and Geeks. 1 less victim will follow you to a minimum of 1 unless you're a special victim. So, okay, so special victim will follow plus 1 victim or just 1 victim. Okay, interesting. You're just afraid. Well, we're going to go save the town now, so I don't want to hear any of it. Again, it is during the upkeep phase. We switched out the bat, and the mind control would have triggered, so this guy is going to move up 1. But now we're going to go into this turn, and I'm going to say this is going to be our final turn. Let us walk on up and see if we can take a hit on this guy. All right, I just need to move 1 space. That's fine. It's more than enough in order to get up there. Let's go, best friend. Let's go get him. Yeah, surround him and beat him up. Never. We're going to start with the weak attack, and because we have the bat on, we should be able to do... You know what? No. Man. The Furious Strike is great too, but that could kill... No. We'll do the weak attack. We'll do the weak attack in order to bring him down as far as we can It's not going to kill him. It's going to bring him down to his final health, but should be able to do something. So long as his final health is blank, then we win. But if it's not, we're going to be in trouble. Oh, goodness gracious. Uh-oh. I'm not resolving the star to do anything. We're dumping 2 to give me a 1-star result, which will hurt Janelle for 1, but does 2 damage. And at the very least, it gives us another dice because he is literally on his last health right now, which is fine because that's 4 dice we're going to use in order to Furious Strike him. All right, this is it. This is it. I have 4 dice. Any star will end it, and then my turn immediately, unfortunately. If his health is a heart at all, we are in trouble. All right, here we go. Ready, and strike! Oh my God. Wow. Oh boy, that was so close. 911. Well, this is it. It's technically doing 2 damage between the bat and the Furious Strike. We are up to 6 times because we gained that. Our turn will immediately end if this is a heart. And it is not. Boom, baby, knocked him out of his dimension. I actually forgot to remove a heart at the 1 upkeep phase, but it doesn't matter. Huzzah, beat him right there. Just before we end this up and go into the final thoughts and everything, I'm just curious what your finale would have been. It would have been interdimensional rift collapse. Oh, this is the one. When revealed, everyone in the mirror dimension loses a life, which is a lot of people will die. Return to our dimension. Slayer has entered our dimension and now can be targeted and attacked in our dimension. You wouldn't need, the opening a rift in order to fight him, but he moves and does 2 attacks in 1 turn. Oh, that would have been awful. You've unraveled the mysteries of Falconwood and locked Slayer away in the mirror dimension. For now. And this is what I was talking about earlier about how Falconwood is a very interesting feature film. The missions, while seeming very complicated on the surface, are not really that complicated. The biggest thing that I had to kind of hurdle myself over with it was changing out those tokens and understanding, the connection between the B1, B2, C1, C2, and then the A3 through 6. Once you get that around your head, you're really just doing almost the same thing on each one of the missions. Running around to each of the spots, flipping over a token, and hoping for the best that you find what you're looking for. But it's different depending on which ones you're going after. If you notice, there was 3 different things on each one of those mission tokens. There was the base number and letter, which was that A1, A2, yada, yada, yada. There was a number 1 through 6, and then there was a key as well. Depending on your mission, you would use one of those 3 symbols that's on the token, and they would be shuffled around and moved around all over the place, so you don't really know exactly where it is you're going at any given time. What I also really like is that the one we did right now has multiple outcomes to it, depending on what you find. So not only are you going to be playing different missions, which all have unique abilities that gain you stuff like telekinesis or able to look through any one of the spots and take any item you want. Like you don't even have to use a search item. You can look through the whole deck and take a look at it. And then of course the unique friends for each of them. But then you can go back and play some of the old ones again, get a completely different result and go from there. I love the way that there's so much thought put into each one of those missions. And it's really not even as bad as I was intimidated by it. I really, really was. And now this has become a very exciting one to play with. I just wouldn't use a killer that's super complicated with it either. With that said, I do want to talk about Janelle's weapon, which I did find before. It was in the shopping mall. It was like the second one down from there. So I'm going to talk about that right now. It's going to be on the screen for a little bit. So spoiler warnings to everyone out there if you don't want to know. But honestly, it's really not that bad at all in comparison to an item that's already within the deck. Janelle's slingshot has a range of 1 to 2, adding 2 points of damage, able to be done 3 times, but it can only modify weak attack and furious strike. You also don't discard it after the 3 uses. You can remove a search card from your hand, from the game, by the way, in order to replenish the item. Within the item deck, you'll find a standard slingshot, as a lot of these items are. They're just upgrades of other things. And this one has only a range of 1 with a boost of 1, but it does virtually the exact same thing. It's just that Janelle's item gives it an extra range and does an extra point of damage. So it's not like a super helpful weapon, but let me tell you, in a pinch, this thing is amazing. In addition, as I mentioned before during the playthrough, if you wish for me to talk about the rest of the missions that are within Falconwood Files, let me know if that's something you'd be interested down in the comment section below. I might make a separate video just going over all 5 missions, the setup, what the best strategies for them, how to get, what you got to get, and of course, what all of the rewards are that you would receive from them, just as a quick reference guide for it, because I know that some people going into these things, you see it, and if you don't have the upgraded tokens or the different tokens or anything like that, there could be a lot of confusion for it because it's telling you one thing when the paperwork says another, and it may just kind of throw you off a little bit. So I'll be more than happy to talk to any of you about that. If you want to see a video, I'll do it. Or you could just leave a comment down below and I can try to answer as many questions as I can as well. But with that said, guys, thank you all for joining me on this Final Girl session, the last feature film for Series 3. The next thing I will be covering is the vignette from Tales from Destiny. I did have a poll going on my community page, seeing what location you guys want me to go to. It seems like the mall, Sunny Days Mall, is taking that well by storm at this point, with almost 50% or more of you voting for it. So seems like we're going to be avoiding death running around a mall, but that's going to be in the next part. I'd like to have that out before the end of the year, just so I can have it all finished off and ready for more Series 4 next year. At this point, make sure you visit the Van Ryder website in order to be able to put any type of pre-order down if you wish for Rotten Harvest, which is out. There's the one that's based off of The Exorcist if you're interested in that one. And I'm really looking forward to the Predator one as well that's coming out. And then in 2026, we will see the Series 4 Kickstarter, so you can get everything else that you might have missed, the big box. And of course, I assume there's going to be a vignette with that as well. And probably a 5th feature film, as all these have had 5 in it together. I'm excited. I'm so excited to see what the next thing for Final Girl is going to be, because each time I play a new feature film and all the new mechanics and all the inspirations and all of these fun Easter eggs that you see within it all, it's just so exciting and such a great time. Win or lose, we have a lot of fun with it. And I'd love to hear not only your opinion of Falconwood Files down below, but Final Girl as a whole. What do you think of Series 3 now that I have finally completed them all? Well, except for the vignette. So that means in order not to miss that or any other Final Girl thing I put out for you to enjoy, or any other video for that matter, because there should be a whole lot more coming in the future, be sure you are subscribed to the Home Gamer Dad. If you wish to support the channel even further, there's a ton of ways to do that down in the description section below. I have a bunch of affiliate links through Amazon down there. Those affiliate links go a long way to helping the channel grow and are very, very appreciated. Over the Van Ryder Games is also a way to do it, because it supports this game continuing to show interest in order for them to put out more boxes and more feature films. I'd love to be able to design one of these one day. I'm a big kaiju fan, so I'd wonder if you could do like a giant monster or something like this. Probably, but I'd be curious on how that would work. And then, of course, just as always, no matter what, it always comes down to your view, liking this video, sharing it wherever. I'd love to know where these videos are shared to on the internet, and subscribing to the channel. All of that and more go a long way to helping Home Gamer Dad grow, enable me to do more of these videos for you, and share my love and passion for not only the world of gaming, but this wonderful, wonderful solo game and all that it represents. Even if I'm not a big fan of the IP, this one I am, but some of the other ones I wasn't, I still love playing through them anyway, and listening to all of you talk about it as well, because I've gotten a lot of fun information from you guys from this throughout the course of all of my videos. Thank you all again. You've been amazing. Take care of yourselves and each other. We are family forever, gaming together, solving mysteries like the powerful clan of great friends we are. No government agency will keep us down. We will be able to discover whatever weird secrets they are keeping and lock up the demons in the end. You guys have a good one, and I'll catch you all later.